the fuck is up, my bitches? If you are new here, hello, my name is Brittany. In today's video, we are doing my February eyeshadow palette ranking. I'm like, some of them are old, but actually, I think 2 of them, but they're not that old, so I titled this Ranking New Palettes because primarily I'm using new eyeshadow palettes, but I do pull in my older palettes throughout the month, and then we come back at the end of every month and we rank them all. So I have 6 palettes today. 6 palettes in the month of February. I have my thoughts and opinions. I have them ranked from worst to best. These were inspired from Kelsey Brianna J. She was the first person that I saw do ranking style videos. I love rankings. I love favorites rankings. All the rankings, give them to me. And I love eyeshadow palettes. And you're going to see how much of a neutral palette lover I am today. But first things first, hello to other bitches in the live chat. Yes, bitch, we're here with more Trulies. I still have not done my taste test on my Mark's Hard Lemonade seltzers. But this will do for today. So, hello, all my britches. I'm drinking strawberry lemonade today. These are hot fire. Anywho, I have every palette on my eyeballs right now. Okay? You guys are loving the hair? Thank you. It feels like it got so long. By the way, I have to apologize first because I was supposed to do this video yesterday. Guys, I went to the dentist. I almost knocked my dentist the fuck out yesterday because I had my crown replaced. That's where I was yesterday, so after my mouth was so sore. That's why I wasn't here yesterday, but here we are today. Okay, first things first. I want to preface this by saying all of the palettes that I used in February were good. So this was a very difficult ranking. There's just several different factors that go into my head when I do these rankings. So it's like packaging, price point, color story, all those sorts of things. So I don't want you guys to think that these are bad palettes. It's just, they got to get placed somewhere, okay? So the first one I'm going to rank number 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 is going to be the Tom Ford Rose Prick Body Heat Quad. Now, the only reason this is ranking last is because of this packaging. I was expecting this to be the classic Tom Ford, like super high quality packaging, and it's just not. It's very just, it doesn't feel luxurious. I mean, I think the aesthetic of it is beautiful, but because it does have that baby pink tinge to it. It's stunning. But it's like quality-wise, it does not feel luxury. Like this does not feel like an $88 eyeshadow palette. When you open it though, this does come with little brushes and stuff, but I just took those out. This is what the color story looks like. And I was wearing it in this picture right here. I love the effect that this wet dry formula has, especially for my textured lids, because these are going to have more of like a, I'm going to classify them as like a satin sort of a finish, almost like a shimmery satin. So this one for me, I'm like, I love the color story. I love the color selection. This is solely ranking last just because packaging. Like, I was just like, Thomas, how dare you? It's just not the classic, expensive, luxury type of packaging. Everything else is nice about it, but that's why I decided to rank this one, unfortunately, last. I will buy more of these, though, because I really do like the formula. It's just that fucking packaging, man. For that price point, I'm like, no. Mr. Thomas, as Vicky J always says, you gotta do better on that packaging. Number 5. I was between this one and the next one, but I'm finding more use for the next one. But we'll get into that in a minute. I'm going to put the Urban Decay Naked, the Wild West eyeshadow palette. I used this twice. I was very, very surprised by this palette. And the reason I say that is because I was expecting to like think this was fine, but the quality of this was actually fantastic. I'm trying to find, I did 2 eyeshadow looks with this. The first one, I went very cool toned. You could see these like looks on my channel already, but this was the first look that I did. And I was like, you know what? I saw a lot of people using the greens. I saw a lot of people going very warm. I'm like, we're going to go cool tone for this one. So this look you see right here is this palette. And I pulled in the Auric Ego, the Smoke Reflect. I do think this is a really nice palette, but I do think that there is something missing with this palette. Like, I think I don't know, like, I kind of wish that this shade here was more of like a inner corner highlight or like a brow bone highlight, which you still could use it, but it's a matte. This is just like my preference. Love the color story though. And another thing, I'm just like, I don't know if like the whole thing, it just kind of throws me a little bit. I'm like, does this strike me as like a Wild West color story? Not really. This packaging is 10 out of 10, but this would have been the perfect packaging for like a multi-chrome palette. You know what I mean? So this one, it's not a bad palette whatsoever. I want to show you guys the other look as well that I did with this look, or with this palette, because this is the one I think that really caught everybody's attention, but I did see quite a few people doing looks that were very reminiscent to the look that I did here. So this was the second look that I did with the, oh my god, the Naked Wild West palette. So again, it's not bad. It really did surprise me. But I think for what I personally look for, I just wish this had a little bit more. I wish it had a little bit more oomph to it, which I think the mattes are the standouts for me, whereas the metallics aren't necessarily like my all-time favorite. But I think there is a time and a place for this. This one was sent to me by Urban Decay too. But I still think this is a really great palette, and it surprised me more than I thought it would. So when I first went into it, I'm like, this is just going to be a basic-ass fucking palette. And then I used it, and I'm like, oh shit, it's actually really fucking nice. So this one I do recommend. I recommend all these. I want to make sure I'm very apparent. Like, these are not bad palettes. They just had to get placed somewhere, damn it. Okay, this next one. When I first started thinking to myself, where do I want to rank these things? I'm like, everybody's going to hate my fucking guts if I do this last. Because I've been wanting this palette for so long. I've prayed with you guys so many times for the pink packaging, but number 4 is going to be, look, I don't even have the sticker off the front. That's where I'm at with this palette. I have to put the Divine Rose 2 at number 4, but I did contemplate putting this last simply because, cancel me now, guys, I don't understand the hype of Pat McGrath. Especially, like, as far as the eyeshadows go. I don't understand the hype with the Pat McGrath shadows because I just think there's so many other brands that do eyeshadows better. This, like, the packaging is what makes up for it. Like, if I had bought the black packaging of this palette, I would have been so pissed because, like, her shadows are nice, but I'm just kind of surprised at the hype that they have for $120+ for this many shades. Like, they're nice. The mattes aren't the bomb.com. Like, there's, what, 2 mattes? So these 2 here are the only mattes. I think, too, it's because I already have the Celestial Divinity. I honestly prefer Celestial Divinity over this one. But the packaging, like, it's the packaging. Did I say the Divine Rose, too? Yeah, it's just, like... Okay, so it's got... Like, this is really, really beautiful. I did a look with this, and I was just like... Like, it's not... I didn't even post the look. I didn't even post it. Shit. I forgot to transfer it over to my computer. But I did a look with this, and I'm like... It looks fine, but the mattes, they weren't blended. It's just... I don't get the hype with the shadows. I'm sorry. Cancel me, but I don't. This shade here is nice, but, like, I have that on... I have basically, like, these 2 shades right here. This is all over, like, center to the inner corner, and then I topped it with the shade here. This shade is going to be, like, one of her special shades, if you will. Guys, Indie does shadows so fucking bomb, and I have such high expectations, especially when there's the hype like this. Indie does it better. They just do, in my humble opinion. But what makes this go up from the number 6 spot is the fact that this packaging is fire. Beautiful packaging. It's luxurious. That aspect of it, I'm like, okay, I gotta give it something. But I'm not as impressed with that palette as I expected to be. I was much happier with the Celestial Divinity because it's like you had the more variety. You've got, like, the nice... She has, like, nice metallics. I think it's just for the price, the amount of shadows, like, everything just kind of compiled into one. I'm rambling, I know. But that's where I'm at with Divine Rose 2. Maybe I'll end up posting that picture. I probably will. So follow me on Instagram if you guys want to see the look that I did with that. It'll get posted eventually, or if I do, maybe I'll just post this one because I think this looks so much better. But it's because I'm using all of these other palettes. So I'm sorry, but that's where that one's going. Okay, number 3. This is where it got really hard. And I'm like, okay, I need to think of what I'm going to reach for, like, most often. Simply because formulation between all 3 of these palettes is incredible. So I chose number 3 to be Collidos and Club Nebula. This is in collaboration with Anyala Kanikvist. The only reason that this is ranking number 3 is because this is not a color story that I will reach for as often as the other 2. You know, the other 2, there were just way more in my wheelhouse. This is a really fun palette. The quality of these shadows is, like, incredible quality. It just comes down to, I know what types of shadows that I like. And I'm just, like, I can love and appreciate a colorful palette, you know. Packaging on this is beautiful. I appreciate everything about this palette. It's just, I know that I won't reach for it as often as the other ones just because of the types of eyeshadows that I like. Because my hair is so, like, loud and obnoxious, when I wear... I talk about this all the time. When I wear colorful shadows like this, it's like I get compliments because people can appreciate the work that goes into it. But then when I wear neutrals, it's a different type of compliment. People always say, like, I look really beautiful and put together, and it's just, it more of, like, enhances my natural beauty, I feel. So when I wear eyeshadows, it's not that it takes away from it, but it's just not the same effect. So I did 2 looks live with this palette. You guys could see it in action. It's on my channel. I have both videos. This was the first look, and I was just blown away with the quality. The quality of this is incredible. I think Angie nailed it. I love the color story. I love everything about this. It's just, I know myself, and I know the typical just makeup that I like to wear. It's not that it's bad. I'm trying to find the other picture as well so I can show you guys. I'm going to start doing pictures instead of referring to my Instagram. But even the second look that I did, I'm like, this look was fire. Look at how beautiful that eyeshadow is. But it's like, it's just a different type of look that I get from really colorful looks. And I live for those compliments, guys. So I think it's a great palette for, like, the 8,000th time. It's just, I know myself, and I know if I'm reaching for cool tones, I'm going to go for Natasha Denona Glam because this formulation's beautiful. The color story, everything about this. This is just my wheelhouse. I love neutrals, and this is just the palette that I'm going to reach for if I want cool tones. It's just, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love, like, this shade right here. I can't. They're just, the textures, the blendability, just everything about Natasha's formulas for her eyeshadows. It just works so insanely well. You guys saw me wear this on, what video was it? My Valentine's Day. Oh my god, my Valentine's Day palette recommendations. And people were losing their shit. People were telling me how fucking beautiful I looked. And this is where I always say, it's just a different type of compliment. This just enhances my features. And I love this damn eyeshadow palette. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's not that old, but it's still one that I would highly, highly, highly recommend, especially if you're looking for cool tones. But if you're not looking for cool tones, number 1 spot is my Vieve Essentials eyeshadow palette. I fucking love this damn thing. And the reason being is because this is my color story. This is my wheelhouse as far as neutrals, but they're warmer. You got your touch of black in here, and the formulation on these is so bomb. Very reminiscent for me, for Makeup Geek, Sydney Race. Those are like top 2 quality for eyeshadows. These are up there as far as blendability. They're just easy to work with. And this for me would just be a palette. Like, the fact that it's called the Essentials palette, it just really, it really hits home for me. I just really like the looks that I get out of this. I did a dedicated video of all of my Vieve products. I don't know what I was trying to say there. And I basically transformed myself into Jamie Genevieve. And you're going to see, like, this is exactly why. Like, this is just my makeup aesthetic. I love this shit. I love the fact that I could use this shade here as a blush if I wanted to. I could use probably these 2 shades mixed as a face powder. Or bronzer, I should say. I've got a highlighter in here. This is just a really universal palette for me. And I fucking love it. Like, the fact that I pulled this out again, and I just fall in love with it every single time. I'm like, this has to be the number 1. It just does. I think it's beautiful. I don't, like, I don't live, breathe, and die for her metallics, but I think that they just give the most beautiful effect on the eyes. Like, when you look at them like this, you're like, but when you put them on, they just look so good. They are a little bit chunkier, but they give the most beautiful, just reflect. But it's not too much. It's very, I would say, wearable. Very wearable, very everyday. But you could still turn up. You could really just, you can go nuts. If you really want two of these, you could wet them to make them shine a little bit more. This is just, for me, it's just a go-to palette for me. So I think all these palettes that I'm talking about today are fantastic eyeshadow palettes. Like, I am not disappointed with any of the palettes, but if I were to pick one that I'm going to use the most, I love the packaging. It's just, I love so much about this, so it's all those things compiled into one that I really love about it. If I were to judge by packaging alone, I'm going to go with Divine Rose 2. That's number one, because that is just everything. If I'm going to go by, I would say consistency-wise, like across the board consistency within the eyeshadows, I would go with Club Nebula. So there's all these things that kind of go into it, because I think Club Nebula, it has like the best of everything, as far as it has the best formulation with mattes and these like almost like sparkly toppers. They just look so stunning on the eyes. It's all these things that I'm like, okay, this is how I need to rank it. Let me consider all of these different things, and that's how I end up ranking everything. So let me know what you guys think of all the palettes that we talked about today. I'm gonna see what you guys are saying. 17 minutes, guys. That's like a record for how fast I've gotten through everything that I needed to talk about today. So let's chat in the live chat for a few minutes. Let's see. You know what it is that the neutral ones... Oh, wait, hold on. What is this? You know what is that the neutral tones really let your beautiful eyes speak for themselves, but your colorful is beautiful too. And we all love to have fun. Yes, I completely agree. That's where I always say, I'm like, it's just a different compliment. It's just... You know, oh my God, Sydney Grace has some beautiful eyeshadows, period. Everything that Sydney Grace does. Oh, so good. Take me to the club. Oh my God, we went to the club twice in 2 days with that Club Nebula. Oh, I prefer the Heat palette. Are you talking about, Naked Heat probably? Cat, she says subtle shine. I would say that. It's very... It's got like it's got a really unique texture. She's talking about the Vieve palette, I think. So for her metallics, they do have just a very unique texture to them. It almost feels like a metallic and a shimmer like mixed into one, but they're not super reflective, but they're so flattering on the eyes. And I think that's another thing that I really like about these two is they're just so flattering on my textured lids. And that's one thing I honestly was shocked about the Tom Ford Body Heat. For them being all of these, I probably should have swatched these as I was talking about them a little bit better, but going back to the Tom Ford Body Heat, like when I looked at these, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to use these eyeshadows like in my crease or anything like that because I have texture. But where this really stands out with this whole cream to powder finish, or is that what, not cream to powder, wet dry formula, that's what this is known for. Tell me that those don't look stunning. My favorite shade in this palette is the one on my middle finger. It's just the most beautiful like coppery brown. If this packaging was better, this would have ranked so much higher because I'm like, oh my God, it looks so beautiful, so flattering. This top shade here, I could totally use that as a face highlight as well. They just, I think, nail it for somebody like me that really wants to have a really beautiful, just like slightly shiny finish, but still incredibly flattering. Oh my God, I love this shade right here. It's so, so good. Oh my God. Oh, I got asked that the other day. Do I prefer the plain Jane or the Ninhydrin? Well, I already used the Ninhydrin once. That'll be featured in my March rankings. I think I still need to play with them more. I think there's certain things that I like about each. Like, I like both a lot. And I did want to update you guys because I used the Ninhydrin and I did get staining from the deep purple. Hold on, it's right here. I'll grab it. So if you didn't know, this is the palette that we're talking about right now. Stay tuned for future videos. I do plan on doing a video if you guys still want to see it, like comparing the two, but I feel like it's probably already been done. First of all, I like the Ninhydrin packaging so much better than the plain Jane. I'll just say that right off the bat. This to me though, I think I like this color story better for me because I love like the grungy tones and stuff. But this one does have, this is a matte and this is a matte here. So it has two mattes, but it's more expensive, and I'm pretty sure it's because the packaging is better quality. But this is the shade that I used the other day. You could see it on my my Instagram. I did a Reels with this palette, and you could see how I got the look, but I used this palette on my inner corner and outer corner, and it did stain. I don't recall that happening with the plain Jane, but I don't think I've used everything in the plain Jane yet either. I have to play with them more, but if you guys still want a dedicated video to these, look how beautiful that is, though. I feel like, though, the plain Jane is probably a better bang for your buck, simply because you're getting more of the, like, special type shades. You're getting more of the duochrome shades for a lesser price, but you're also not getting the better packaging either. It's going to be one of those things, like, you got to just ask yourself which one you like better. That's what I've been telling pretty much everybody. I'm like, if it's something, if I were to pick, I would go with Ninhydrin because I think I like the overall aesthetic better. But I do think you're getting more for less money with the plain Jane because you're getting two extra more special shades instead of mattes. And I think that that's where I really like how they're doing they're so like concentrated on those like duochromes and multichromes and stuff like that. I think it's almost smarter to just keep it all that instead of incorporating any mattes, but that's just me and my humble opinion. Oh, let's see. I want to touch the Ninhydrin packaging so bad. It reminds me a lot of the Natasha Denona, like the Lila. It's very reminiscent to that. So if you have that, it's basically like touching plain Jane all the way, but the packaging on the other one I live for. I totally agree. Totally agree with that. I have 6 of her palettes, but I use my indie way more. Are you talking about Pat McGrath? Because that's where I'm like, I'm still like shocked. I'm so shocked at just the hype, man, because especially this palette, everybody was talking about it. And it's like, it's fine. Like, the pink in this was really beautiful. It's really nice, but they're not making me really lose my shit, though. And it's because I'm so familiar with other, like, indies, like Makeup Geek, foils. Oh my god. Sydney Grace metallics. Oh my god. That's where it's like, if you go from indie shadows to this, I think you're going to be like me and be very disappointed. Especially for the price. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. I know Pat McGrath is expensive, but I find that it lasts all day. It's very rare that I don't have eyeshadows last all day. I'm trying to think of a palette that, like, sticks out to me that it doesn't last all day, but I can't think of one. Like, I usually don't have that issue with really any. I cannot wait for the Temptalia palette. I cannot wait for that either. Oh my gosh. Ah, that's gonna sell out so fucking fast. Let's see. Do you know what the themes for the 3 Temptalias will be? No idea. I mean, we keep seeing it. We keep talking about that palette what feels like every single Monday in new makeup releases, but still not positive on how they're doing any of it. I'm watching, though. I'm definitely watching. I don't know. I might get those in PR, because I think Sydney Grace reached out to me, but it was a while ago. So maybe I'll get them. I'm gonna try to buy them anyways, though. Let's see. Oh, you guys. I told you would be disappointed in Pat after trying Divina. Yes, I was. Fuck. Oh my god, I just got my sugar drops from Divina too. That will be coming in a future haul. Oh, let's see. Indie shadows don't last on my lids. Pat McGrath lasts. Oh, really? Oh my god, like, that doesn't happen to me at all. My Divina, my Cleona, Sydney Grace, they last all fucking day on my lids. But I use the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base, like, no matter what. And I always have my eyeshadows last. I hope they make a ton of them. Same. Oh, and no creasing with Pat McGrath. I do experience some creasing with the Cleona the jeweled multi-chromes. I feel like those are the only ones that I could recall off the top of my head. I did notice creasing with those, but I also couldn't remember if I had like done an eye base before I used it that time. I finally ordered some Davina. Should be here this month. My first multi-chromes. Oh my god. Kendall, you wait. I hope you got Exosphere. Exosphere is so beautiful. I love that one. I cannot wait. I like the artwork for City Grace, I'm telling you, but I don't think I'll need the palettes the way I keep buying things. Same. Hi, Josephine. Oh my gosh. Amanda, do we really need any of them? No, we don't, but we want them all. And honestly, for my mature lids, Tom Ford is the best. And that's where I feel like the Tom Ford really does stand out to me. There's certain brands that I'm just like, I think just nail it for mature lids. And I think Tom Ford is definitely one of them. I'm just so disappointed in this fucking packaging. That's the only reason. That was the reason. I just thought of Cardi B. Let's see. So I shouldn't buy Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2. Was planning on it. My suggestion would be if you have indie in your collection, you're going to be disappointed. At least that was my experience. I could appreciate, this packaging. I like the fact, too, that she was like one of the first, I would say, mainstream brands to do a multi-chrome. But comparing this to other ones that I have, like Cleona and Davina, it's nice, but it doesn't have the same effect. I don't know, like, it's nice, but it's just, I'm just surprised at the hype. I'm very surprised, especially since I think that there's other brands that just do things so much better. No shade. Let's see. I got the Aurora Flares. Yes. And the cake bundle. Oh my god, candy cakes. Oh, Kendall, you have to like DM me as soon as you get them and play with them because I cannot wait to hear. Tom Ford and Chanello to save the day. Yes, I still have a Chanel quad that I still haven't used yet. I just stare at it. I did use Chanel on the cheeks today, though. I've got my Blush Duo and my, Perles de Lumiere highlighter. How flattering, right? So beautiful. Love it. Oh my gosh, you guys are too funny. I love Davina. I just got my Star Chasers, but they're in my new home, so I haven't touched them yet. No! I have indie, just haven't tried Pat McGrath yet. I mean, I think Celestial Divinity was like my perfect way to tiptoe into Pat McGrath because the price point wasn't bad. You didn't get the bougie ass packaging, but you were still able to try the formulas. And I guess that's why, like, I shouldn't be so surprised that I'm not as impressed because it's like, I thought they were nice, but I'm like, they didn't make me, like, shit my pants over them with the Celestial Divinity. But I really liked how you had so much of a variety and it wasn't, like, a ton of, like, I like that you have more shades for, like, the same or lesser price point, you know? Like, with these, I'll never go through a pan size that size. I kind of wish that they would scale down. But this is like the aesthetic that she goes for, so I get it. I mean, I'll probably buy more, but I don't think it'll be a brand for me that I buy like every single one. I think if a color story just hits me the right way, almost like the Tom Ford quads, I think that would be the same thing. Like, I could see myself collecting the quads more than I could with like the Pat McGrath, but it's because I like the formula. You know, with the Pat McGrath, it's like I like the color story and that's pretty much it. What Chanel quad do you have? I got, oh my god, what is it? Lace for Hombres. Does it, hold on, I gotta open it. This was sent to me. I'm trying to remember, like, oh, I forgot to mention, the Collidos palette was sent to me in PR, Vieve I purchased, Natasha I purchased, Wild West is PR. So Wild West and the Collidos were the only ones that were sent to me out of all the ones that I talked about today. Hold on, I gotta open. Gotta take my little things out. This is the one I got. It's so cute! It's so damn cute. I need to use this because I love purples. But it's like, I don't want to touch it because they look like little flowers. But I'll use it. Oh my god, I just knocked the box over. Let's see. This is weird, but I am looking for a pale multi-chrome, not dark. I think the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome would be good if you're looking for a more like subtle. I think this one would be too, like, because it's more subtle, but you only get one in that palette, and I don't think I would justify it. Yeah, I think the Trio Chrome was probably the most like subtle, toned down ones. Everything else is usually like super shiny and reflective. So that would probably be my recommendation, is the Trio Chrome palette, because you would at least get 3, but you're still having to pay $120+ for a palette for 3. I don't know, that might not be worth it. Pat McGrath is probably the most accessible to people who aren't based in the US. Some indie brands can be hard to get, cost an insane amount to import. That makes sense. That does make sense, but it's like comparing two totally different things, though. I could see if it was like saying, oh, well, we could justify buying Pat McGrath if the quality was the same, but it's not. I don't know, to me, like, the quality with some indies are so much better, in my humble opinion, but I could totally see that. Kendall blacked out and ordered 6 of the Jacqueline blush bronzer quads. Rest your soul. If you love purples, try Tom Ford Daydream. I think that's the one that Morgan Turner, I think that's her favorite one, but I could be wrong. But I know she has a favorite one and it's purple, and I think that might be it. Let's see what you guys are saying. Natasha Denona Trio Chrome, not for $120. I mean, maybe if you can get it on sale. I'm trying to think. I'm like, is there any other like more subtle multi-chromes? Not that I've come across, at least. I really want to try. Oh, that Pat McGrath night. You've changed my mind. Thank you for saving me lots of money. Kendall. She says don't judge her. Guys, everybody. Kendall, we're judging you. Judging you so hard, Kendall. I'm just kidding. I'll be curious to see what you think of them. I'm sorry, 6. Kendall, Cat is judging you hardcore. Davina took 3 weeks to get to Australia, but I was happy to wait. It's well worth the wait, in my opinion. I feel that Pat McGrath Multichrome has more shift than Natasha Denona, but I mean the Multichromes is also more shiftier, so not sure. I do agree. I think the shift on the Natasha Denona, it was not my favorite, but I like a really intense shift. I was not impressed with Natasha's, to be quite honest, but it's because I'm so used to Cleona, Davina, and that type of vibe. Let's see. I really want the new Natasha Denona. I'm so curious to see like when or if that's even supposed to come, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it will be coming. Kendall, I cannot with you. Oh my God, guys, you guys are hilarious. You guys get me through these lovely live streams. Again, I do apologize I wasn't here yesterday, but man, I have never wanted to hit somebody so hard because she was just like jamming. Because this is what happened, okay? I had to get my cap replaced, or my crown, and my temp crown fell off. So when she put my new cap on, she was like trying to make sure my gums weren't in the way. So she's just going to town, like digging out my gums. And mind you, that's the same side that I just had my wisdom tooth pulled. So I'm just sitting there like, I'm gonna fuck this person up. I was just like, and then she's like, I'm sorry. But I'm like, I have never wanted to hit somebody so hard because it hurts so bad. But I was like, just get it done. Just get it done and get me out of here. And then after, my mouth was just on another level. And I was like, no, we can't do it today. If you guys aren't following me on like my social, like Instagram, that's my main one. And then I do post on my community page. Like if I plan on going live and something comes up, I do post on the community page that if something changes. But other than that, that was my that was my day yesterday. Oh my gosh. Mouth pain is the fucking worst. And it's like, it wouldn't have been as bad if I didn't already have like my wisdom tooth issue. I'm curious, Tracy, I'll be keeping my eyes peeled. Kendall, I hope you get yours soon, because if I do end up caving and giving in, because I love the aesthetic of those new products that she has coming out, I would buy them from Ulta. I would not buy them from her site. So I'm very curious to see reviews. If you guys come across reviews on the Jaclyn blushes and stuff, I don't think I'm going to end up buying them because I'd rather give other brands my money, but who knows? Britt, I asked my dentist, why do you ask if it hurts when you just poke it more? Yeah, she was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she's like scraping. Like, I was just like, oh. And it wasn't like my normal dentist either. So I was like, I don't even know you. You're a bitch. I didn't say that, but I was thinking it. Oh my God. But she ended up fixing my teeth. So at the end of the day, everything was good. I was appreciative that my mouth is all good now. Almost. It's almost all healed. Kendall, I would hope that you do a whole ass review when they come in. Oh, let's see. That's how I felt when I got my wisdom tooth pulled. It was not fun. Shannon said to me, he's like, I wish I record you. He's like, you're the coolest person when you're like coming off of anesthesia. Because I really don't say anything. No, she said, Monica said no lidocaine. They didn't want to numb me or anything just because it's usually like a quick thing, like take the temp off and just pop the permanent one on. But since my cap fell off, I think they were expecting it to go right in. And then just the whole process, it was like, it was bearable pain, but it didn't feel good. It was just like a compilation of the pain that I was just like, no, I can't do it today, guys. I'm feeling much better today, guys. Thank you. Not a half-ass review, a whole one. I hate when you have to settle for another dentist. I didn't care, though, because when the temp cap came off, I was like, I need to get this permanent one put back in, like, ASAP. Because I've done it where the temp cap fell off, and then I waited until, like, my next appointment, which was, like, a week later, and your teeth already start to shift, and it was just more of a pain in the ass. I'm like, no, I don't even care. Just get me in to get that damn thing put in. Oh my God, girl, I am moving next week, too, but my boyfriend has a box of packages. I'm going to use my eyeshadow. Someone actually did record me after I got my wisdom teeth out, and I was laughing, and blood was just pouring out of my mouth. Shannon, I don't remember. Like, I don't remember going to the car. I asked for Starbucks. Like, we went to Starbucks, and I haven't had Starbucks in, I think, like 2 months. Because I would get, like, pink drinks every day. And I was like, yo, I need to stop. Because I'm trying to lose weight. So I asked for Starbucks. He got me a pink drink with the sweet cream cold. But he got, like, the whole thing. I'm like, did I tell you what to get? He said, yeah, didn't remember that. I got banana bread. And then I came home and fell right asleep. Like, I took one sip in the car. And he said it just, like, fell out of my mouth. But other than that, I don't remember coming home. I remember, like, him putting me in bed and, like, tucking me in, and then that was it. And then I woke up, like, 4 hours later. Oh, Kelly says, check out that hair. I was supposed to get my Brad Mondo hair today, but I don't think that came. I wanted to try out his hair color, and it better blow me away for how expensive it was. It was, like, $28 for a tub of hair dye. I'm like, So we shall see. I think this is Virgin Pink from Arctic Fox. Oh, the banana bread from Starbucks is the bomb. But guys, I missed everybody. I missed chit-chatting with you guys. So other than that, that's going to be it for today's video. I will be back probably tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you guys when I'm going to be back anymore because I noticed that when I say it, I end up not doing it. I feel like I'm going to end up doing like a morning one within the next couple days because we do have the kids. So I'll probably end up doing something. I've got an empties coming up. I need to do a haul. We got some shit. Oh, my cat's meowing. I need to go let him in. But other than that, guys, I see there's 138 people watching and 69 thumbs ups. Come through with a thumbs up, or if you didn't like it, thumbs it down. Guys, I checked today. We were 5 subscribers away from 12,000 subscribers. And I'm just like, bitch, fuck me up, guys. If you guys like this video, subscribe, tune in for future ones, turn on your notifications. Follow me on Instagram. Do all the damn things. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have any other critiques for future rankings videos, like if you like the fact that I did the pictures of me wearing it, if you want to see swatches, let me know all that stuff, and I could definitely incorporate more of that. Since this is live, I just have to plan a little bit better ahead of time. So give me all your guys' feedback, and I will see you guys in my next one. Okay, bye!